Hey, how are you doing, folks? Very good to have you here with me. So, this is the thing. Side.Quest, as you should know, I'm doing every week, sometimes twice per week, sometimes once per week, but for sure, always on Friday or at least Thursday. I'd like to come here and talk about the news and the new things that are happening on the game industry. Um, and this week was quite special, right? So let's do like we always do. I will bring my Twitter page and then we can talk about the things I tweet. Okay, so first thing I'd like to tell you guys that I'm gonna put there, yes, there, right in the corner, in the upper right corner. This interview for Arthur Portesio, a very nice guy, developer from Sword Legacy, one of the developers with the storytelling. He has a company Fableware that is quite interesting, and they do this storytelling design and how to create the characters and everything. And this interview was really good. You can understand a lot about how games are created from the story point of view on this interview specifically. But let's move on because tons of things happens, right? This week was full. Whoosh. This is cool. Have you ever seen this kind of advertisement from Japan? I love the Japan advertisements because they are so different. Some of them are kind of awkward, but to be honest, like I like the Japanese style of doing advertisements because it's always very creative. And this is one they brought from the 2014 of 3DS, Nintendo 3DS. It's quite interesting, right? To see Mario in different clothes. What about this one? If you like retro stuff, I love retro stuff. Do you remember the Casio? I guess is the way I should spell it, right? Casio data bank. Forgive my English, really. I remember the data bank, the calculator, and then you put like your phone numbers from your friends and contacts. That was super cool, right? And you have to do in a small, very tiny keyboard with numbers only. That was a way more advanced, I guess, from Seiko. Yeah, that was a smartwatch in 1984. Can you believe on that? Oh yeah. Oh, and this is something that I love. This is the Bonks Adventure from TurboGrafx 16. Also, there is the portable version that is super cool. And this guy just posts like the Castle Zots. They post this stickers of this game. I love this game. Everything in this game was really cool. And here we go again. Like we all know the PlayStation 5, right? And we're gonna talk about the PlayStation 5. Will be the last thing I'll talk. You know, side quest quite fast. It's less than 30 minutes. I try to make it less than 30 minutes. But to be honest, I'm happy in one side and very disappointed in another. But let's give PlayStation 5 comments to the end, to the very end. Okay. Seems like there is a new Metal Slug coming that never any franchise looks like Mario or Zelda. And this is good because it's a very cool game, always been, and I love like the pixel art, the way it's done, and the way it's created is really good. I love this kind of game. I love this game specifically. This title is amazing. I hope they are bringing a new Metal Slug. I really hope, and I hope to see that on all platforms, including PC and Nintendo Switch. Oh yeah, this is something also cool, right? Like a lot of people say, oh, you know, like 60K, 4K. Now Xbox X will do it. Now PlayStation 5 will do 4K 60 frames per second. Come on, we are doing 4K 60 frames per second on PCs for years, to be honest. And now Stadia is doing for tons of games. Come on, guys. Come on. What is the new on that? For those who don't know, they can run games in 4K 60 FPS if they want, because I don't see a point on 4K 60 FPS. I'd rather to stay with Full HD, 1080p. But for those who want, it's available for a long time already. There's no news on that, guys. And another thing that is quite cool is there is some new editions and bundles and packs of Destiny 2 Beyond the Light, because Stadia is getting really strong though. Here in US you can see advertisements everywhere, especially on YouTube for sure. Google company, right? Whatever they spend, stay inside home. But it's quite amazing. I'm playing Stadia almost on a daily basis, and I can see how it's evolving. When they have a new title, and this title is not a lot played yet, I believe the AI don't have enough time to process all possible things and to pre-processing and pre-render everything to send to you. So sometimes you can see some stuttering or some deblocking, but that's quite rare, and it's becoming rarest and rarest and rarest. Every time you play, it's really hard to find those things happening, especially in games that is on the platform for a while. This is becoming like impossible to see those things unless your connection is really bad, which is not the case. Stadia can work with 10 megabits perfectly, 20 megabits perfectly. I have 100 megabits here, which is very normal in US. I could have more, but this is very normal. 100 megabits is not something hard to find. And I can play. And I can play any TV at home. And I can play any computer I have. It's such a freedom that Stadia gives to you. Stadia is really, really good. It's improved super fast. I can play on ROG Phone 2, my phone here. And I did. And it works. Works really good. I'm going to make a video here about that later. But to be honest with you guys, Stadia is getting stronger. It's becoming a real platform. Something you can rely on for your games. And if you buy your games and you have them on Stadia, it's going to stay with you inside your Stadia account forever, right? And this is amazing. I claim tons of games already because I have the Stadia Founders Edition, so I got the first batch of people who bought it, and I can tell you like how it progresses and how it develops along the time and how advanced it's becoming. And I'm eager waiting for more connectivity between Stadia and other games and how to play online games with Stadia. This will be even a step further that we're going to see very soon. What I'm waiting, because I have tons of friends in other countries, especially in Brazil, is to Stadia come down to other countries. They didn't expand yet. They have some plans to expand by early this year, which didn't happen. Probably because all the things we know that is happening in 2020. Not an easy year. Very tough year for everyone. But to be honest, Stadia wants to start to expand to other countries, especially, mainly, underdeveloping countries, where the cost of games is super high, where the cost of consoles are impossible. Then the real promise of Stadia will start to become true. And that's where the target audience is waiting for them. They don't have money to buy PlayStation 5, Xbox X, to renew their graphic cards every year, to buy a new gaming PC every year. This is not possible for them. It's a huge investment. The dollar exchange rate kills everything. All the countries in South America suffer for that. Can you imagine someone playing in Brazil paying like $10 per month, $10? Still fair. Still cheap. It's cheaper than any game they can buy, and they will have 2 or 3 games free per month on Stadia Pro. Right? So when Stadia approached the third world, the underdeveloping countries, when reach those countries that they are really cost sensitive, like Brazil, like Argentina, like Chile, like Peru, you name it. There are so many around the world. Then we're gonna see Stadia raising, flying super high, because the adoption will be crazy on those countries due to the cost. The cost is really low compared to any console or PC, whatever. So that's where Stadia is gonna fly, believe me. And it's good to see new games all the time. It's new games all the time. I would say every week there is at least 1 or 2 games new every week, which is good. I'm really excited about Stadia. I hope you are too. And let me know. Do you want to see some gameplays on Stadia and ROG Phone 2? Playing for a smartphone, a PC, AAA game? Doom Eternal? I can do that. That would be nice. Okay, so another thing is Stadia. It's announcing full compatibility with the Android 11 on having games played on the screen. So PC games like with commands on the screen. So far you cannot have that. So far you You have to have the Stadia controller connect to USB Type-C. But Android 11, you don't need it. I hope they put that on Android 10 as well. And then look at this. My allergies start to scream right now. If you find your Wii U controller in that situation, that's a project for a day, right? Just to clean it and don't trash it. What the hell, man? Have you ever found yourself in a situation like this with old console you found somewhere in your house? Somewhere in your home? Come on. Another thing is that there is a big leak. This post for Nintendo Live, I love Nintendo Live. They say that more than 140,000 user accounts have been leaked from the Nintendo Switch. So it should be the Nintendo account online. And this is something that later was more, they announced that it's more than 200,000. So this is a good time to do a two-step verification on your Nintendo accounts. Just do it because, you know, we have credit card storage over there. You have a lot of personal information stored over there. So just do the two-step account verification on your Nintendo store as soon as you can. Don't wait. Just do it. And look at that. The Super Mario spot spinning during construction at Super Nintendo World. That's from Go Nintendo Tweet. I love this account. And look at that. You see like the coins spinning over there? Check this. So can you imagine how amazing would be this park? Though I'm crazy to go there. But I cannot go to Japan for that. I'll wait for the Universal Orlando version of that. That should be 2023 if they don't delay because all the things you know. I hope so, right? And this is something that I know it's not easy, but they should find a way, just like the No Man's Sky did. You know, so Kotaku put it here, a very nice information and news that the No Man's Sky, this game is awesome. Like you can explore the universe. I mean, it's crazy. They use AI to create new universes. It's super cool, and you can have cross play between PS4, PC, Xbox One. For sure, right? That's the way. This is the way. Like Mandalorian. What else we have here? I cover, and you can watch. I will put here later. Later, if you're watching this video, you can see on the right upper corner. Okay, you're gonna see that the live I did of PlayStation 5. So now this is the new PlayStation 5. Okay, if you don't see it now, you see it though. This is the new PlayStation 5. Gosh, and this image shows that probably will cost, because it shows in Asia you can reserve for $699. Which actually is not so reliable, because sometimes they put like $1,000, $800. But this is kind of, you put your money over there, so you keep it. The price can be lower than that. The price can be more than that. If it's more, it will be covered. If it's lower, they will refund you. It's like a placeholder for the console. And $699. That's $700. Come on, let's round up. 1 cent. $700. $700 for PlayStation 5. Okay, first about the PlayStation 5. If you watch the live, like I just broadcast the live. If you watch the live, you're gonna see me how I got very excited in the beginning because they put some titles in the beginning that are amazing, like the Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man, something that I'm eager to play. I always play Spider-Man games. Why I should not play this one? This one looks amazing. But if you look through all the other titles and take like more than an hour with titles, some of them exclusives make a lot of sense. Vast majority not exclusive, just titles. And the graphics on those titles, really few of them seems like they are ready for a PlayStation 5, or PlayStation 5 graphics. They are not a big leap from what we have today in PlayStation 4 or any gaming PC. any gaming PC can do what they show on the PlayStation 5 event. Then I ask you, if you got with a good discount, maybe on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, you can have a 2080 RTX 2080 top-notch graphic cards to put in your PC for around $700. Right now, you can buy a 2070 RTX 2070 for 700. You can easily find one, a good one, for a good brand. For Asus or maybe from EVGA. There are so many brands. You can check, right? Good brands over there. You can buy a RTX 2070 that will play all the games in the max configuration for sure with a good performance for this money. And will play for years to come. You don't need to buy a new console. And you can apply whatever you have in your games right now, these new graphic cards, because you are having game PCs, right? Have this in mind. When you buy game PCs like on a Steam store or Origin store or whatever is the store you are buying, these games stay with you no matter which computer you upgrade. So after watching for 1 hour, games, and start to get super boring because some of those games, come on, it's not the kind of game you really want to see in an event like that. If you go to the end of the live streaming, I would say like it was 1 hour and a half of live streaming, I guess, and 1 hour of only games that make no sense. And I would say 25 minutes of good games that you look and say, oh, this is cool, this is good. Like, this is the kind of graphics I expect for the next generation of consoles. That would make a lot of sense. And then 5 minutes or less talking about the design of the console and the accessories. Okay, accessories was a plus, very nice to see it. To see that they are bringing an ecosystem, but it's not too much. It's not nothing new, to be honest. Everything looks like the same, and it's good to know they're gonna have 2 consoles just like Xbox, the digital version, and that's fine. They also have on PlayStation 4. Actually, I don't know why they have the version with the Blu-ray. We just make it expensive here, and everybody's going digital. But anyway, maybe it's the legacy, right? They want to keep the legacy. If there's retro compatibility, why not? I understand that for those who want. But to be honest, like, the design is sexy. Yes, it is. It's new. It's a bold approach. Make a lot of sense when you see the controllers with white and black. Although I rather to have the pure black version. I think the pure black version makes sense. But why I should buy a PlayStation 5? Why? Besides exclusives, all the titles that are exclusives, beside that, that's a obvious answer. If you love any of those exclusives, it will make sense to you to buy it. Just like the Nintendo Switch, right? Nintendo Switch have Mario family, we can say, the franchise, and Zelda, and Animal Crossing, and there are so many titles around them that justify your buy on Nintendo Switch just because that. It's not about the graphics, it's about the fun. And we know Nintendo brings a lot of fun for the family. Great. But along the years, I see less and less exclusives on consoles. Really few are lasting right now exclusive on consoles. Or if they're exclusive, they're being exclusive for a while and then they release on PC. Xbox, whatever is an Xbox actually being PC, because Xbox and PC is becoming almost the same thing in terms of store level. Why I should buy a PlayStation 5? Why? Why I should spend any money on PlayStation 5? Just think with me. If I pay for a service like Stadia, and I'm not saying only Stadia, you have the NVIDIA one, you have the even PlayStation that have one but sucks. The online service, the streaming service. Why I should spend $700 or $600 or $500, whatever. If I spend $10 per month to have equal or even better graphics level than PlayStation 5 with my Stadia, with my streaming service, why I should have it? What's the point? Just because the hype? Okay, if you're a fan of PlayStation, I understand you're a collector. You wanted anything. If it's good or bad, you're gonna have it. I understand that. It's just like me with Nintendo. I totally understand. But a normal person? Why? If you have Stadia or Stadia-like services around, and they are good, and they are improving, and they're getting super good, and they will be even better next year, and they will expand, why you need that? Just do the math. If you spend $10 per month, you're going to spend in the year $120. $120, right? $120, let's say, are 3 titles, AAA titles, we can say like this, considering you're not buying the launch. 3 AAA titles. And to be honest, right now in Stadia, right? Stadia, I have Stadia since November last year. Now it's June. It's about 8 months, and there is AAA titles belonging to the Stadia Pro for free. So they pay itself beside all the other games I have. That is cool. And I bought games on Stadia. I bought the Doom Eternal on Stadia. And the bundle was quite interesting, and I got it. It's the full bundle from Doom Eternal. And I can tell you why I should go for just one console that will connect to one TV, and then I cannot connect to PC to play, I cannot connect to my phone to play. If I'm traveling, I can play my phone in my notebook. I don't need big hardware for that. I don't need to renew hardware for that, because on streaming services, it's always like this, and you have to have this in mind to understand. They can upgrade the servers, and they will. And the servers that are working in a cluster system, so they add more servers. They don't kill some servers that are old and put in new servers that will now play games in higher graphics. No, they add more servers. They work in a cluster. They stack it up. They can do that anytime, any moment, even by software. They can allocate more servers for you or for this game, for that game that is new and has more graphics. They can do any time they want. If you check how Stadia works with AMD to do a custom chip, and this chip, it can allocate the cores from inside the servers to different games that are running for you. It's amazing the kind of technology they have. Nobody's at this level so far. Why I should buy a PlayStation 5? What are the reasons? That's something that is missing on this live streaming. The PlayStation 5 live streaming that just happened, I hope, and I'm for sure they're gonna have a new one. There is nothing explaining why I should buy it. It's just trying to build the hype around some titles that barely was showing correctly. And some of them you look to the graphics and say, come on, is that the graphics of PlayStation 5? Is that this is the new generation consoles? But come on, I can play that on my phone with that graphics. Some games like the Spider-Man, the NBA, I can see the level of graphics I see today in high-end PC gaming. And then I feel, okay, that's expected as minimum. As a minimum. I love to see developers on the live streaming. That's the right thing to do. Bring the developers. They are the core, they are the soul, whatever is the console. But one thing I notice in every single speech from every single developer, they cannot justify why only PlayStation can do something in their games. Why? What is being developed on PlayStation 5 that cannot be played or developed on a PC gaming? What is the exclusive technology they have? So that's my point. There is nothing right now in terms of graphics power or the future graphics power that PlayStation can bring that a PC right now cannot. Right now. I don't need to wait 2021 to be launched. Right now, I can play graphics like that. I guess we are watching the last generation of consoles, or at least the popular ones. I think now, if you don't have something like a Nintendo with Nintendo Switch, that is, the idea of Nintendo Switch is to be dockable and portable, and when it's portable, you don't need to play online, the games play inside the device and you can take with you whatever you want, and there is a age, a nice range of age for kids to adults, teenagers. It works in this way. I have my Nintendo Switch. My son has his Nintendo Switch because I don't want to mix it up. So we have both. We don't fight for Nintendo Switch playing, but come on. If you think what would be a very cool strategy from Sony would be to have a PlayStation 5 that works like a Nintendo Switch and has embedded a service that you pay per month, just like Stadia, for all your games, like streaming. And this device, if you compare to Nintendo Switch, should be a better screen, like 8 inches or 9 inches screen, better resolution, OLED or AMOLED, because that's something that Switch doesn't have. More RAM, more storage, better sound, better connection. Nintendo Switch is old, dude. It's not new. There's a lot of things that is not really cool. Imagine, they're using the NVIDIA Tegra over there, actually the K1 if I'm not wrong. But come on, if you put Snapdragon 865, which is the processor supporting the high-end graphics right now on smartphones, or you can have some deal with Qualcomm to have, customized Adreno graphics, overclocked, for a device portable, just like a Nintendo Switch, but make it PlayStation 5. And make it dockable. And fight with Nintendo with better graphics. You can offer that. Come on, Sony. You are the only one who could do that, right? You have a nice history. You have the Vita. You have the PlayStation Portable. I had PlayStation Portable. I love it. I still have it. Why you don't do that and put 5G? And then you can charge on this service also the 5G connection nationwide. Why not? That would be a killer device. That would be the device to last years with you. Not this PlayStation 5 that was barely explained, poorly explained. And there is no justification to upgrade something that seems like there is not really difference on graphics from PC game that we can have right now. And actually, one thing that you can notice during the live stream, if you go and watch again, a lot of titles, they say, available by holidays 2020. Huh? Holiday 2020? Wait, but they're gonna launch PlayStation 5 on 2021. Why it's available on holidays 2020? It's because it's gonna be available on PlayStation 4. So the graphics won't change that much on PlayStation 5. Come on. Come on. Okay, folks. I'm sorry. I had to say those things. I have to be true to you guys. Love to see you guys here. Diogo Pena. Yeah, you just say. Was looking for a really nice Strix RTX 27 Super or around $500, $530. It's a great price. Yes, it is. That's what I mentioned. Ricochets is here. Good to see you, guy. Now in English, right? And Jonathan Andrade is here as well. Thanks a lot, Jonathan. And thank you guys for coming here for another Side Quest. Every week, Side Quest with news for you. I always come here this time. I should be here at least once per week, okay? Thank you very much, folks. See you soon. Bye.